You're watching Drake Wing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Never here from Drake Wing Gaming, and something on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of Violet Memoir, Oscar's Path. So y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go! I'm barely around to get a grip before he's already darting around the desk, but another tremor forces him to regain his footing. The floor has already become steeper than any hill I've ever walked up before. Oscar doesn't wait as he starts to charge up it, barely making any progress as he's forced to use his arms to keep himself steady against the wall. I'm not sure how he's able to do it until I knock something smacking my tail behind me. I look back to see Oscar's tail placed further back on the floor, pushing down with all its strength to keep Oscar upright. He's already managed to make it halfway up the floor as I notice something strange about the room. Despite the total change of gravity, none of the chairs or tables look to be sliding down to the bottom of the room. None of them are embedded in the floor. It's almost like they're completely unaffected by what's going on. Suddenly, I'm falling for a moment as the angle becomes too steep and Oscar can't maintain his position against the wall. I brace myself for the free fall, but my arms are nearly pulled from their sockets as I grip Oscar's neck. Looking below us, I can see Oscar's tail planted firmly on the ground, holding most of our combined weight. The door is still just out of our reach. Even if Oscar manages to scale the floor-turned wall with the tiny inches his feet can make. With the ship still rotating, there isn't going to be a lot of time before there's no angle at all. And there won't be anything to stop us from falling. Get ready! That's all the preparation I'm given before Oscar gives a final Hail Mary. He shoves off the floor with his tail as hard as he can. I can hear the claws on his feet digging into the ground as he tries to get every inch of leverage he can. We shoot upwards, jumping higher than I've ever seen before. I knew Oscar's tail was strong. I've been on the receiving end of it multiple times, but I never knew it was this powerful. The door creeps inches closer and closer to us as time slows. I curl my arms tighter around Oscar, and I'm barely able to resist the urge to bury my face into his head as I watch our momentum slow and slow until Oscar's fingers manage to grab onto the side of the doorframe, gripping onto it with a single hand. For a moment, I feel fear surge through me at the thought of a single hand holding the two of us up. But Oscar doesn't seem to have the same level of worry as I do. He's smiling a massive grin, bigger and more proud than anything I've ever seen before, and we hang there for a moment, as it almost seems like Oscar catches his breath. I'm too tense to do anything other than hold on for dear life. I'm not even able to mutter a single word. Oscar doesn't wait for too long before he lifts up another arm to effortlessly grab a hold of the doorframe as well. Compared to getting here, lifting both of us seems like child's play to Oscar. Without even breaking much of a sweat, he's able to shift the two of us high enough to where I'm completely out of the room. Most of his upper body is through as he holds himself up with straight arms. Can you get to safety, little dude? I should have my back close enough to the other side. What about you? Aren't you going to come out too? Don't stress about me, man. I'm fine. I just don't want to crush you on my way out. Now come on, step off. Ooh, sweet strawberry bubbly water. Watch your step, though. I can try to grab you with my tail if you fall, but it'll be hard. Not wanting to mess it up, it takes an embarrassingly long time for me to get my feet secure enough on the ground to let go of Oscar, but he doesn't seem to mind in the slightest. He's still wearing that smile of total confidence, and this just looks like a little exercise to him. Can't quite see him, man. Are y'all good back there? Yeah, I'm standing on the wall, I think? That's great. Just take a step back. I'd feel bad if I whacked you with my tail. I follow his instructions, and I'm about to ask what he's planning on doing before I see him start to swing himself back and forth. Before I can protest, he flips himself up until he's fully standing on his hands. Without more than a grunt, he twists himself until his feet are on the ground, bending in a way that's significantly more flexible than I thought someone of his size could be. Phew! That was a bit close, but nothing we couldn't handle. You did great, man. I'm still too stunned to speak, and before I can stop myself, I lurch forward and wrap my arms around him. I know I should keep my space, but I'm too overwhelmed by everything to think. But Oscar doesn't push me around. He just crouches down and wraps me tight as well. I can't look up to see how he's doing, but he doesn't seem to be comfortable. Not yet, anyway. Must be the adrenaline. He's still smiling. When I do pull away, and there's some light twitching to his tail. He still looks pretty good despite the physical contact. It's only now does what he say register in my head. Me? You did all the work. I didn't do anything but make things harder on you. Don't be like this. I'm built for stuff like this. I'm twice your size and have all this muscle. It's my job to help here. But you kept your cool, and I know it must have been killing your arms to hold on like that. Especially when we were basically hanging off the wall by my tail. Seriously, man, you were sick. Honestly, I didn't even feel my arms. I was just so scared. Even if you couldn't feel them hurt, doesn't mean they weren't. Come on, let's get out of here so we can get some rest. Skipping classes was the right idea, and as soon as you head off to find Lily, I'm gonna have a swim. God, I need one right now. Well, if we don't find a way out soon, you might get what you wish for. Whoa, look at you. That's some pretty morbid humor there. Must be rubbing off on you. Was it good? A little dark, but not bleak. I like it. But which way do you think we should go? How much did you explore your for? Not much. I was just trying to find you, and once you, well, not you, started giving me hints to follow, I just tagged along until I met up with you. Oscar looks over me for a moment before he leans down, squinting at me. He didn't say anything, but I have a feeling he's already figured out what I know more than I'm letting on. So I decide to just confess. I think I might have an idea who might have been guiding you to me. Remember when I fell into the water last stream and you were proud that I was able to escape myself? I didn't. Someone else saved me. I thought it was you, but when I saw it, it wasn't a person. What was it? It was like a ghost or a spirit. It looked to be made out of water and reminded me a little bit of you. Alright, one second, y'all. Water time. Guys and gals, and we are back. Let's go ahead and jump back in, shall we? Now, Oscar looked really confused, but there was also a twinge of something that I can't figure out mixed in there as well. Me? Not quite you. It wasn't anywhere as big as you, but it was an otter. Maybe that was all, but something about it made me feel like I could trust it. Oscar got real quiet after that, and it's the first time since we escaped the room that his smile completely fell. Something about this creature really sunk his mood. Any idea what it is? Huh? Not really. Could be anything in this place, but it sounds like it's friendly, at least. That's gotta be a good sign, right? You think we can trust it? I mean, I thought we could too, but I expected you to be more against this. You haven't even seen it. It seems to be avoiding you, actually. When it rescued me last time, it immediately ran away as soon as we got close to you, and it didn't show itself to guide you. I have a feeling we can trust it. I don't got any evidence or an argument like Grumpy might want. It's just another hunch. You seem to be having a lot of those. The conversation dies down after that, and Oscar leads me back to the direction he came from. The further away we get from that room, the hallway starts to look closer to how they should. It isn't long before everything looks almost exactly like it had the last time I was there. It really was like there was a tiny fraction of another world trapped in that area of the ship. Soon it was like we're back on a regular cruise. The ship capsized while we were still inside. Despite the hallways looking the same as always, everything looks different at this new angle. It's like the room where we found the page, which is now tightly tucked into Oscar's shorts. All the furniture that should be scattered around the ground now is all stuck on the wall. Oscar cracks a joke about gravity, but I miss it as I catch a glimpse of a familiar blue in the distance. I'm only able to see it for a second before it darts around a corner, their long tail flicking after them. It's them! The ghost that helped me! I try to point after it, but Oscar is already moving, grabbing my hand and charging us down the hallway. I can tell he's holding back to make sure I don't fall over, but the pace is still enough to leave me panting in seconds. We dart around the corner, nearly tripping as we have to avoid tripping on the sudden drops to the doors or lights protruding from the wall. The next time we round a corner, we catch their tails slipping through a new door I've never seen before. It's less opulent than the rest of the build, but much more refined and functional. It must lead back to wherever the crew works, or maybe where the captain's quarters are. I regret never listening to my dad rumble on about old historic boats. There's no way it hasn't noticed us by now, and I'm almost certain it's trying to lead us somewhere. It still seems to be trying to avoid coming face to face. Oscar slows down until we're just standing in the middle of the hallway. I'm forced to lean against the roof to try to catch my breath. Nothing like Oscar, who barely exerted. He's just staring after the spirit with a mixture of what I can only assume is confusion and sadness. No surprises there. What did I expect? The laugh he gives is bitter and unlike anything I've heard from him before. It's just a glimpse into a raw emotion that I've only seen in diluted drops. Even that time on the beach, Oscar was still trying to push down everything he was feeling, but not this time. This time it slipped through. What's wrong? I expected Oscar to jump at attention once he realized I'm still here, like he usually does, but he doesn't spring back up. He just looks exhausted, but he still gives me a smile, solemn but earnest. Don't worry about it. Just a little bit frustrated. If they think they know their way around here, it couldn't hurt for them to help us, don't you think? It makes sense. It would be incredible frustration with everything that happened. But I don't buy it for a second. Oscar, is there something wrong? Wallace, don't. Not now. It's abrupt and final. He must have realized how unfair of a position he's put me in because he wraps an arm around me, tugging me close to him. I can see the claws on his feet digging into the walls, but he doesn't make an effort to push me away. Despite how uncomfortable and tense he feels, he doesn't let me go. We walk the rest of the way in total silence, completely in each other's arms. By the time we arrive at the wooden door, I can feel Oscar starting to breathe heavily, and he's forced to let me go. It doesn't completely make it better, but it helped. And I can't exactly blame him for being stressed with everything going on. But that's no time for this. We need to find the way out, and if this leads to a new part of the ship, it must be over here. Oscar manages to reach up and open the door, but he has to hoist me up if I want a chance to reach it. But even standing on his shoulders, I can only grab the frame, and I don't have the muscles to pull myself up. So we decide to have Oscar gently toss me up to the door frame before he climbs after me. He made sure to position me so if he fell, I'd fall back where he could catch me. The worst case scenario is having me fall into a long drop if the door leads into a new hallway. I have a feeling the spirit wouldn't lead us to somewhere that dangerous without warning us first. Oscar didn't comment on that, though. Not wanting to give things a chance to get uncomfortable again, I signal for him to hoist me up, and a gentle boost later, I can feel myself crawling through the door. Unfortunately, I am paying so much attention to my feet landing on the frame that I don't pay attention to my head, which smacks onto the other side of the frame, causing me to lose my balance. I should have fallen backwards, but I see a blur of blue lunge out through the open door and grab onto my arm, tugging me through. I can hear Oscar shouting and jumping after me, but all I can feel is disorientation. Before I can figure out from up from down, my feet are on steady ground and I'm stumbling around. That's until I realize exactly where we are, and I'm left staring in shock until Oscar collides me from behind. Huh! How about that? The two of us check back through the door we came through, but the only thing on the other side is my apartment. Not a single drop of water out of place. Without any fanfare, we're back in regular reality. That ain't normal, is it? Which part? I don't think any of it was normal. A sudden switch. From what you mentioned before, it sounded kind of like it was a whole big deal when you switched. It was never that smooth. Usually I just wake up, but yesterday and during the hospital, it felt like almost like a ritual. Like things were meant to end where they ended. But now? It's bleeding through, huh? I think so. I don't know how, but I think it's gotten more powerful. Whatever it is. Maybe we should flake on meeting up with Wilf. I'm not sure I want to leave you alone. Do you still have the page? Of course, man. What do you think? He cuts himself off as he rummages unsuccessfully through his pockets. He's about to give up when he notices something and bends down, picking up the paper. Must have fallen out of my pocket. Or where it would have been if it blew out the door. It does so love the ambiguity, doesn't it? That's slick of them. Without even hurting, I'm wet, but it's mostly my sweat. You don't think it was just another hallucination, right? Come on, Wallace, I'm not that delusional. Not always, at least. I'm just saying, it's good at covering its tracks. Alright, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon, YouTube memberships if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!